Do you know what the shape of a raindrop is? With all the rain we've been having this season, this question couldn't help but come to mind. After all, we do know that raindrops falling reach a terminal velocity of 10 meters per second, which is a little over 20 miles per hour for us Americans. And we do know that liquid water isn't a solid structure. So does this teardrop really hold shape the whole way down from the cloud to the ground? I decided to ask people on the streets what they thought the shape of a raindrop really is.
Well, raindrops have their own special shape. I guess they would be teardrop shaped.
A ball with a handle. That's how I describe the shape of a raindrop.
Raindrop, I think, looks like a teardrop, so skinny at the top and round at the bottom.
A raindrop shape kind of looks like a jelly bean that was twisted at the top.
Oval shaped, perhaps?
Can I think this one over first?
I've always pictured it anyway as like a pearl drop. You know, the drop pearl in jewelry.
Like a tears?
Oh. A sphere?
And a bit round, maybe.
A teardrop?
I think it's a trick question. I think I remember reading it somewhere that it's actually a sphere. It's not actually raindrop shaped, but it's a sphere.
The shape of a raindrop is round at the bottom and pointy at the top, kind of like a triangle with a rounded base.
It's like an oval with a point on its head, so that's what I can think of.
A round with a triangle on its head.
A raindrop is like almost teardrop shaped, but the front of it kind of gets dented in a bit.
I don't know, it looks like a drop. I mean, a drop, I don't know, has this distinct shape.
Like a pear. It is raindrop shaped.
I think that a raindrop is like a teardrop coming from the sky, you know? Something like that.
Most people I spoke with had the common idea that rain was shaped like a teardrop. After all, you don't have to look hard to find this classic rain shape. Popular culture teaches kids from a very young age that rain is shaped like a classic tear. We can find examples of this in children's books, movies, advertisements, products, and even TV weather forecasts, just like in the ever-popular Weather World or even on the Weather Channel. This may be surprising to learn, but one of my favorite foods, cheeseburgers, and the shape of a raindrop actually has something in common. Turns out, as the raindrops fall, they become more like the top of a hamburger bun. Now that's some food for thought. Delicious. I sat down with Dr. Brune, who is the head of the meteorology department here at Penn State, to explain. He teaches cloud physics along with many other classes and conducts research.
It's not teardrop at all. It's round to start with if it's small. When they're small, they're not falling very fast, and therefore they're mostly a sphere. They're mostly round. Just like, say, you blow a bubble. It's very much like that. But as they go faster and faster, which means when they get bigger and bigger, because that's when they go faster, then what happens is just the fact that they're running into air tends to squash them on the bottom. And so as they get bigger, they tend to get more squashed on the bottom and look more like a hamburger bun.
First, consider how rain actually forms. Rain is the liquid precipitation on Earth. It is an essential part of the hydraulical cycle. This begins when water evaporates and forms clouds. Some of the water inside clouds could either be in ice or liquid form. Once enough water has evaporated into the cloud, it is released as rain back to Earth. A raindrop starts as a common sphere shape high up in the clouds. The smaller the drop, the better it resembles a sphere shape, which is about 1 millimeter in diameter. As a drop grows into a larger drop, that drop takes on the shape of a hamburger bun, right around 3 millimeters in diameter. As the drop grows even larger, that hamburger bun shape loses hold and the drop becomes more and more distorted until it reaches a size when the drop breaks up into many smaller drops because it is too large. The smaller drops then start off at the beginning of the cycle back into the common sphere shape. Why does this shape-shifting change happen? Well, that's because there are two forces that are in a major tug of war. The first one being surface tension of the water drop itself. This enables the drop to hold the common spherical shape. The second one being the air pushing up against the bottom of the drop as it's falling through the atmosphere, which creates the flat bottom surface. In conclusion, the shape of a raindrop actually depends on the size of the raindrop. This isn't quite what you were taught or were told throughout your life. Now you know the real shape of a raindrop and also one of nature's best kept secrets. Go stump your friends, and I'm going to enjoy the sun before those little hamburger buns fall on me for whether or not I'm Mary Sharkey.